Welcome to a little bonus episode of the podcast. On the 25th of June, I attended the first day of the installer show up in Birmingham NEC. And what a amazing turnout of suppliers it actually was. I got there for 10 o'clock when the doors opened, literally, and I left there after non-stop walking, to be honest, even walking, eating sandwiches for my lunch. I didn't stop, and 10 to 5 I managed to get round to all of the exhibitors and have a look and have a chat with a few as well, which was really, really interesting. So there was a massive emphasis on heat pumps. So I'd say if you took heat pumps out of the whole event as a whole, I think we'd probably lose about a third of everything that was going on there. It was a massive dominating, that and car chargers, electric EV car chargers. That was a massive dominating part of the show, really. All the manufacturers were there. Baxi, Worcester, Valent were there. Just one criticism, one of the talks that I went to, which I wasn't that sort of happy with, really, was Heat Geek was sponsoring the event. And now I've got a lot of respect for the Heat Geek and the training they offer on the thermal dynamics. I think they're very, very technical guys and what they do, and they produce some fantastic content. And personally, I've learned a lot as well through watching their content on YouTube and the other platforms. But they really did put down. They've got joint partnership with Valent. But they did put down the other manufacturers, indirectly, like Mitsubishi, claiming that all they've done is get air conditioning manufacturers, get air conditioning units and just swap a few components around to make them into heat pumps. Because ultimately that's what the technology is. It's not that new. It's been around for decades. It's just done in reverse, and claiming that Valent's offering of heat pumps are far, far superior. And shouting down the rest of them. Now, I've got no evidence of the SCOP values and the efficiencies of all that, but it did seem a bit like sour eggs, to be honest, or sour grapes, I should say, that they were so keen and quick to put down all the other manufacturers, apart from Valent. The Valent guy who sat who was introduced, he didn't sort of say yay or nay to any of that, so he took a very professional approach to those comments. But the Heat Geek guy, he wasn't as dignified, let's just say. There was one company that I went to one of their talks called Heat Engineer, and it's all about calculating heat loss in houses a bit more effectively using their software. So that was very, very interesting. So apparently you can do a heat loss calculation using their software with their subscription in 15 to sort of 20 minutes, taking all the measurements of the room. Well, that was good. I think that's going to be great. Unfortunately, I don't see a lot of people doing that correctly at the moment, certainly in sizing of boilers and moving into heat pumps. So that's a service that we could be offering to our clients in the near future. We're going to get signed up with those, so we can offer that professional service that with the real maths and quality, the real maths and the data that go with it. For what you're exactly going to need to have an efficient low temperature heating system. And I think that's the key word, really, low temperature heating, whether it's from electric, whether it's from gas, whether it's from some sort of heat pump, or whether it's some sort of hybrid system. Ford were up there as well, demonstrate up on the top level, demonstrating their new van, their new Transit Custom. So I had a look in that. It's got some lovely little features in that new van. Got a steering wheel that tips to a little table, which is quite natty. When I was approached by the sales guy, which was quite funny, he asked me if I liked it, and I said it's not. The new Volkswagen's looking quite nice, because they're in partnership now with Volkswagen on their commercial Ford. So the new Transit is very Volkswagen based, which I think is going to be better for the brand, to be honest. Hopefully they won't inflate the prices even more than they already are for the Transit, but that's Ford for you, so we don't know about that one. I met a few companies to doing software. We use a company called Gas Engineer Software, and we was going to go over to a company called Service Mate, but they're only on Apple phones, and we don't use those. We're on Samsung or Android system. So there was a couple of software companies out there, which was quite good to meet those, and really, really pleased to be having some conversations next week, and hopefully before the silly season of the winter comes along, we'll be moved over to a new software system, which is a lot more CRM based rather than what we've got at the moment. So it should be a lot more user friendly. A couple of the stands were all copying each other with trying to get people onto the stand by kicking footballs to win a tape measure, or doing some sort of little game thing where you got to move the hoop around some sort of metallic pipe without the buzzer going off. That sort of game. But there was one guy that really, really caught my eye, and it was the only person doing it on the stand. And they actually had a magician there doing card tricks to get people to come over to interact with the stand. So if you're ever going to spend the money doing that sort of stuff as a supplier, think outside the box, because that was absolutely amazing. Completely different to everybody else. Yeah, because a lot of the exhibitors, they're a bit like the old chuggers, the old charity muggers in the high street. They sort of just pounce out and obviously trying to get your business. But yeah, just doing it so subtly with a magician, really, really did work. I really like that. It was pretty cool. So for my conclusion for the whole show, it was absolutely impressive. I've never been to it before. It was really, really big. I was impressed with the amount of stalls that were up there. I know it was covering kitchens, bathrooms, plumbing, heating, electrical. So it covered quite a few different areas. So it wasn't just on the plumbing and heating industry. And well worth a visit. It's back on again tomorrow, being the 27th, until next year. But certainly well worth a visit there. But you will need all day to get around it. Trust me on that. There's a few stalls there, but they weren't really offering much of a discount for tools and little trinkets, little like flexible buckets, and little spouts and stuff like that, which was quite interesting to see and touch. But there weren't really many people selling like workwear or clothes or work shoes or anything like that, which I've definitely been up for. But yeah, so if you're into the industry and you've never been, highly recommend it. And I really, really hope that the heat pump is the silver bullet to solve our renewable heating for the masses, because there are so many manufacturers that have invested millions and millions and millions of pounds into all this technology, and some of these heat pumps were absolutely colossal. I'm only 5'9" and a bit, but they were taller than me, these things. They were massive, and I really hope that this is it, and there's not going to be something around the corner, maybe like hydrogen coming down the gas pipes instead. But yeah, we'll have another chat about hydrogen another day. So yeah, that ends the podcast regarding the installer show. Well worth a visit. Make sure you've got some comfy shoes on, not like me that forgot my shoes and had to wear my work shoes all day. Take a packed lunch with you. I got a meal deal from Tesco's at £3.40. And they were selling fish and chips for 16 quid plus a drink. So, but there's plenty of places to get a free coffee on your way round and a cold drink. So, but it was great. It was good to see all the manufacturers and all their offerings. But okay, well, have a fantastic week, guys, and thank you very much for listening. Take care.